Hello and welcome back to our continuing adventures on the Let's Defend platform. Today we are tackling the incident responder path with SOC213. Possible data exfiltration detected. Event ID is 169. Event type is data leakage. And the event occurred July 24th, 2023, 6:58 a.m. Let's see. Looks like it's targeting the Gloria system. Alert trigger reason. Exfiltration attempt detected. Alert trigger command. BitsAdmin create upload. Refereem. L1 notes. Minutes before the alarm, I detected a potential brute force attack on the system, but I could not see BitsAdmin commands on the system. Okay then. So let's see. The 24th, we'll go email security. Go back to July. Anything targeting Gloria? No. Okay, so nothing there. That's fine. We'll take the source IP address, pop it into log management, and we've got a story to tell. 24th, 12:25 a.m. Nothing there, but from a 104. And then apparently a 146.70.45.84 over 3389, so RDP. Username is correct, but the password is wrong. Username is correct and the password is wrong. Etc. Etc. Oh, successfully logged in. From 146.70.45, 184. And now let's do the needful. Telos. OTX Alien Vault. Is the IP on anybody's watch list? Virus Total, what do you say? Stock radar, malicious, CrowdSec, not recommended. Okay then. Interesting. M247 Europe SRL, but yet it comes back as US. Huh. Data center hosting VPS. No. Historical OTX telemetry. But nothing there. So somebody probably spun up a VPS or something to sit there and pivot off of. Or I guess the other aspect would be this could be I'm trying to remember. Yeah, here we go. Spur.us. Okay, so Proton VPN. So somebody was using a VPN, smart, from an attacker perspective, to go through and try to RDP brute force into Gloria. Hooray! And so it's not on anybody's crap list by the looks of it. Okay, so they managed to get logged in. So that was 6:54, and then it looks like 2 minutes go by. We get a detection for PowerShell process create. We get a compress archive, refree.txt to refree.zip forcing. And then we get refree.zip going to court christineartistry.com. Well, that's not kosher. And that's our box sending it out. Oh boy. So what was refree.txt that was forced into the zip file? If we go and poke at the Gloria box, we're just gonna go ahead and just quarantine that right now. And we take a look. So it was 6:54 that they did the successful login, right? Yes, 6:54. And we start seeing reconnaissance commands being run on the local host. So who am I is the big one that stands out. We get BitsAdmin. Okay, what's going on? Because there's more here. I know there is. Okay. It's expanding down, but then not going the rest of the way. That's interesting. Reverse it. Okay, so BitsAdmin list. Resume, Refume, Refee. Well, I don't know why they couldn't see this. It's there underneath processes. It stands out. And network traffic isn't going to help us. Okay, so it looks like an order. Who am I slash groups. Directory listing for stuff on desktop. For some reason, they're doing an IP config release. Then they're picking the primary Google DNS, probably to confirm an internet connection. System info to sit there and find total physical memory. So like they're footprinting the system to get actual RAM. Verbose listing for task list. So for those who may not know, think the non-graphical version of Process Explorer or Task Manager, just inside of a command window. Netstat/AN, so they're getting current network connections. Then they're doing an IP config menu. That seems like that's out of order. It's like, why would you remove your IP config? And shouldn't that have interrupted the RDP session? Because they just knocked out their... and then after they run that, then they get it. And then they're getting... okay, whatever. Typical web traffic up until we get to... So yeah, they probably didn't even notice. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a connection going. Why that doesn't spread out, I don't know. But all right, so in typical fashion, we will record the notes. Oh, yeah, I should probably also go through and make this bigger again for everybody. And we get the notes tied up. So we have confirmation for BitsAdmin. And that would be considered a LOLBin, would it not? Since it is technically living off of land? Make sure that's nice and, well, bigger while that comes up. May be used for background intelligent transfer. Plenty of resources, yeah. Doesn't look like they're doing the alternative data stream. But yeah, it looks like the typical way this thing goes is that, okay, it's specifying use BitsAdmin. That's the endpoint while that's working its way to connect. Where is it? Well, but then it's doing the add file. But still, would it not be, okay, the source is the referee.zip on the court ChristinaArtistry.com, and then basically, okay, your dumping portion is C users let's defend documents. Yeah, because notice the example they give, they do the add file. They want to pull auto runs from live.sysinternals.com. And then the second portion that they specify is, so I don't know about data exfiltration. This just seems like they're probably bringing something else with them once they're on the box. Let me get my remote desktop spun up here. So once this is ready to go, I can just bring that up and then share the window. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure about data exfil. This looks like they're just using BitsAdmin to pull the stuff down, as opposed to actually like upload it. Okay, so 18.218, 83.251. And yes, I'm not overly concerned about basically stating all that, as by the time this goes out, that will have been shut down. Okay. And that's it. All right. So, take a look at Let's Defend. And documents, or no, downloads. We got the Sentinel-1, that's it. Hey, but we got Refree. What's Refree? Hello team, it is Refree. If you see this file, you probably solved the incident. The critical information in this file is that crows fly in flocks and eagles fly alone. So don't worry if you're alone. Maybe you're an eagle that rules the skies. Take care of yourselves. uh, and I want to confirm that, yeah, okay, documents, refree, yeah. And then just to confirm, that is exactly, yeah, that's what was in there. So somebody went to the trouble of getting into the system to just simply drop this using BitsAdmin. But that definitely confirms then that it wouldn't be data exfil. They pulled it from the site down to the actual box. Unless there's something else that we're effectively missing. Doesn't look like it. What was the other folder? 713 for our PowerScript profile? Yeah. So they literally just pulled it down. It didn't go up. But then, shouldn't it be the other way? Because when we were looking at log management, the source was the Gloria system and the destination. So, okay, if we go by how BitsAdmin worked, it pulled it down from that website to the box. But looking at log management, I mean, effectively, yes, the box would reach out to that in order to sit there and start the process to download, but boy. Well, I suppose we are going to want hashes. Then we'll take a look and see if sysmon's installed on the box. I mean, it's still technically evidence, even though it's not really worth anything, but hey. So let's see, we're going to duplicate, we're going to choose a file, we're going to go my documents, we're going to take the zip file, and we're going to confirm that upload. You're going to do that. And then we're going to solve CAPTCHAs like we're not biological machines. And apparently we're going to redo that. And we're just going to do the same thing with the text file because it's just easier. So 4 months ago, yeah, that about tracks. That is so weird. All right, so we got a refree.zip and a refree.zip. text. And the text file is here. The MD5 that we are going to need is that. That finished. And of course, giant shock. Nothing detected. It's a zip file for a text file, or a zipped text file. All right, so that's that effectively. What is it? Application and services logs, Microsoft Windows, Sysmon, and then operational. And yes, I realize this is probably going to be small, but there's not much I can do about that, I don't think. So do we get to the point where I mean, there should be a login, so then we should start seeing something else here. So let's see, that's calling CMD. There's who am I? Who am I groups? Windows Update Service. Various normal background items. Okay, notepad created. A new text document in the documents folder. Here we have the, okay, BitsAdmin create Refereem. There's the full command line. BitsAdmin/add file Refereem. So add this file to Refereem, the one from the artistry website, and then have it dumped down to refree.zip inside the documents folder, which is exactly what we saw. And then they resumed it. They made the, okay, and then there's the query for the actual court, Christina Artistry. That actually would be something else we will need in terms of evidence as well. So, court Christina Artistry, and then the results back is 199.34.228.65, which, if I go back to log management, confirm that at 6:58 to destination port 443, we do see destination address of 199.34.228.65, confirming that it is the actual Oh, nice. I didn't realize that if I didn't make it the active window, it would go away, but it looks like that's working. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to complain. Ah, that doesn't change. List. We've got it in the log source. Okay. So I'm not super concerned about that now. I mean, yes, apparently Gloria had an easily guessed password for the most part. We do BitsAdmin list, no jobs. So everything's done then. Okay, well, we've got the evidence that we effectively need, and then we've got, no, yeah. Apparently it's recording what we do, which, okay, that's fine. Past that point, I don't think there's really much of anything else that we need. I mean, I wouldn't really call this data exfiltration, since this pulled the file down from that site. Yeah, so let's just kill that. Go back to endpoint. Terminate that, so that way we're not running up any sort of virtualization costs, assuming it's Amazon. And we've got it contained. I don't know how they weren't able to sit there and see that, but the BitsAdmin activity. But so let's see. We've got, we'll have two MD5s, the zip, and the text that extracts out from it. We've got the aspect that we already see the reconnaissance activity that was run. We'll have the URL that this was pulled down from the artistry.com site. We have the IP address in question, so we can pivot through there. And we'll have an additional IP address too. The one utilized that was the Proton VPN that started all this. That's right. Oh, nice, and it's actually marked as VPN too. Well, okay then. So yeah, I wouldn't say exfiltration was attempted at all. We'll see as to whether or not if they ask in regards to it. Download file from internet. Yeah, and it's not outlined as to being able to go through and utilize that to actually send something off. Everything that's here for the LOLBin denotes that it should be from outside coming in. Review the details of the alert of the investigation channel, gather more information. Source-based data collection techniques are focused on collecting and analyzing data from various sources. The detection methods involve monitoring and analyzing such as email, cloud storage, local systems, and network shared drives. Have you seen any suspicious user or process activity that might be related to data collection? Well, I mean, technically, if you count who am I and the rest of the commands that were actually run, terminal history gives a better stat of that. You could theoretically count that as data collection of the system itself. Directory listing of stuff on the desktop. Listing of who am I, so who are you logged in as, what groups are you attached to, running processes on the box. Thankfully, I don't see anything there that looks like trying to pull email. So if I had to take, I'm going to say data from local system. Interaction-based data collection techniques are focused on capturing data in physical device conditions. Such as capturing user interactions and device-related data such as input capture, screen capture, video capture, audio capture. It's not video, it's not screen. Assuming that, the reconnaissance that they ran. But this is supposedly MITRE? MITRE technique data staged. Well, I guess we need to get a better understanding. Central location prior to exfil, that wasn't it. What about a config repository? No, it wouldn't count as a data repository. Data from local system, yeah, okay. Adversaries may search local file system sources, local system sources such as file systems and configuration files, local databases to find. I mean, they pulled the desktop. What about input capture? They denote. No, that would be more like key logging by the looks of it. Even though I would think that would be, yeah, okay. So that's not how they're going to actually denote that then. It's not clipboard. It, no, it didn't look like it's automated. That's assuming that they stayed in the system and played with it. They would have had to have been connected for quite some time. That's not lined up properly. That's all over the place. So who am I? Who am I groups? No, yeah, going upwards, it's, yeah, because it's 24-hour clock. And then well after the fact. Because that trigger command was at 6:58. So you're talking like 2 hours. Roughly an hour and a half later. We get the directory for desktop, ipconfig. And last login. Yeah, so 406. Yeah. And of course, it doesn't tell us who was logged in at the time. I'm going to say none. And then they want to know, okay, how was it? But the direction is wrong. Like when we look at log management, I mean, reading this, it's like, okay, this is reaching out to this to send. Yeah, it pulled it down. Yeah. I don't know. But it's not data exfil. Have you observed any? No. We saw BitsAdmin using to pull down a file. Have you seen unusually file transfers or activity attempt to steal data? No. We saw it come down to the box. Exfiltration activity. No. Then I'm just going to say none. Investigate the host associated with the alert to determine if the activity is a false positive or potentially malicious and involves viewing. Yeah, we poked at that. So here's the question. That VPN address, the 146.70.45.84, only occurred that one time. But July 7th, we observe something in that same range for Rebecca. An account was successfully logged in. And then apparently Angela in September. Yeah, so unless, Let's Defend hired a bunch of people and they all have Proton VPN for their own personal boxes. Yeah, I'm gonna call BS. I mean, true positive, yes, BitsAdmin was kicked off for the alert trigger reason, but not for exfiltration. Wait, alert trigger command, BitsAdmin create, upload, Refereem. Maybe I'm wrong. BitsAdmin create upload. Upload reply parameters are not. So that would so the upload would specify then a change in direction. Create upload Refereem, which would create the BitsAdmin task of Refereem. Then they're adding a file. And then list to verify. I think I've only seen it used effectively just to download, which would explain as to why this is now a... Yeah, and that's running that, which is fine, but I want to see it the other way around. Trusted SIG. Bits for script kiddies. Sure. Okay, and then this spells it out from there. Let me blow that up. So if we're going to actually upload it, so create upload, the job name, add file, remote destination, local source. So data from local system. And I'm assuming the archive collected data is going to be exactly as to what it sounds. May compress or then that okay, so then apparently the order operation we saw with the sysmon that it created a new WordPad or notepad document. So then there must have been a rename that I ended up missing. They created that, then turned around, typed in the stuff, created the zip file. Okay, so archive. Not automated. Doubt it would be considered C2. So let's see. Yeah, it wouldn't be cloud storage. I don't know, alternative protocol? Maybe? I'm kind of guessing at that particular one. Because it's not a cloud account. It's not over physical because it's not USB or hard disk or anything else like that. Doesn't look like it's a C2 channel. Not data size limits. Doesn't look like it's automated. And they don't really give a... Yeah, we'll just run with that. Alternative protocol. Mark it as true positive. Does the device need to be isolated? Yes, we've already done that. So backup evidences, eradication, recovery. How did it happen? Well, apparently Gloria had RDP. Um, Internet accessible. Apparently had a password that could be reasonably easily broken or guessed. And then the whole aspect with the LOLBin BitsAdmin being used. How well did staff and management perform? L1 somehow missed the BitsAdmin command, even though they are underneath the processes for the endpoint security. Although I can't give them really any real guff in regards to the BitsAdmin if they'd found it, considering the fact that I don't think I've ever seen it used to actually upload stuff before. Always download. Staff and management do differently. Stress the aspect of looking at the processes in endpoint security in order to do better. Corrective actions prevent similar incidents in the future. RDP behind VPN access, non-Proton VPN access, actual Let's Defend VPN access, legitimate organization VPN access, stronger password. Maybe firewall rules to prevent non-approved VPN ranges. Precursors or indicators to be watched for. Well, this whole thing kicked off from the brute forcing of the login. So precursors were multiple failed logins in short succession. And then, of course, a successful one from an IP address that hasn't been observed previously. And probably not in range that had been previously observed. So that would probably be a pretty big indication. Okay, now we go into all the fun parts. So, like I said, we are going to need 2 MD5s. We're going to need a URL address. And then we're going to need an IP address. And then we're going to need an IP address. So that was the referee zip. We got a referee.txt, even though it's not really malicious, but it's indicative of somebody's been playing with stuff that they really shouldn't. Exfiltration file, and then we need the IP address that would then attach to the court Christine artistry. And then we have our RDP brute force Proton VPN. And that was our 1467045. Bright root first. By RDP. Uploaded it by BitsAdmin. To that site. Recon activity was also recorded on the system. Who am I? Who am I? Slash groups. What's all of our other fun parts? So we're calling out the rest of that activity. And we're going to pull the trigger. We're going to call it true positive. We're going to dump in the copy of what we'd already. Oh, net state. Should be net stat. Oopsie. Did we get it all right? I'm assuming so. What? Playbook wasn't complete. How in the hell do you figure that? Huh. Interesting. Well, maybe I missed something. Or maybe there's a problem on the back end, regardless. Okay, so I can't tell if any of the playbook stuff was actually right or not. Hooray. So I guess if that interested, I can see it's about posting an update as a reply from all that. Maybe I thought I clicked something and I didn't since I had to go back. I suppose I could just reinvestigate and run through that, but we've gone through it. It's almost been an hour, so, and I've still got to get this shoved out the door. So, no idea how well I did, but apparently it is a true positive. And I learned something new today in regards to BitsAdmin to upload as opposed to just download, which I've always seen. So, there we go. I will get everything put together with this post once the video is posted. So the links and everything else like that, and of course the link to the trusted sec for bits for script kiddies, since it was immensely helpful in confirming the upload aspect. So with all that being said, I will see everyone in the next video.